Good to be back with you. I've missed you. Hopefully you've missed me as well. So great to be here. We're thrilled that you click on these videos, that you like these little meditations. We enjoy doing them for you. We are in the midst of a Be Kind sermon series. How is it that we can be kinder to one another in this culture of anxiety, in this culture of polarization? And part of that sermon series, we're also doing a short-term study. This is The Kind Humans Survival Guide by John Pavlovitz. We're meeting on Tuesday nights at 6 o'clock. We hope that you can join us, or you're welcome to take a book home and read it at your leisure. So this week in our lectionary, we're in the Gospel of Mark. And we're about in the middle of Mark, and we're at a place where the disciples have been traveling with Jesus. They've been seeing what Jesus has been doing. The crowds have been there. And Jesus turns to his disciples and he says, "Who do the people say that I am?" And they come up with all these answers. Some say you're John the Baptist, some say you're this, some say you're that. And then Jesus turns and says, "But who do you say that I am?" And Peter just speaks up real loud and clear, and Peter says, "Well, you are the Christ." It's a problematic answer. Peter, just by proclaiming you're the Messiah, you're the Christ, is pretty ambiguous. It's very vague. What do I mean by that? Well, everybody has their definition of what Christ is. Everybody has their definition of what the Messiah is. And in fact, we find out Peter's definition of Messiah is different from Jesus, as Jesus then offers a rebuke to Peter. So what does this mean for us, right? Here and now. Well, I read that rebuke from Jesus as this need to name the particularities of Jesus, right? To name the specific things that we say Jesus is. But here's the problem with the particularities. They have implications. If we just say Jesus is a forgiver, then we too need to follow through with our forgiving. Right? As a follower of Christ, that's what that means. Whoever Jesus is means that's who we try to live into. If we say Jesus is a peacemaker, we need to live into being a peacemaker. If we say Jesus is an includer, we need to include others. Right? So this has implications in our life. It's knowing who you are and why you're here. Right? If we know who we are as a follower of Jesus, we can be more kind, we can be more peaceful, we can be nicer to one another as Jesus is. But if we're like Peter, who makes an assumption, who makes an assessment of judgment upon somebody else, without thinking it through, that's when we have our issues. So this week I invite you to figure out, who is Jesus to you and what does that mean to your life? And how can you live that out in the world? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.